Hey, good afternoon, YouTube. This is the Prepared Glue Guy. Hey, listen, today I wanted to talk to you about traveling via air with a firearm. I've had my concealed carry permit for roughly 5 years here in the state of Indiana. I have never flown with my firearm. But a couple weeks back, actually about a month ago, I was planning a trip where I'm flying to North Carolina, doing business, and then flying down to Florida for vacation. And I didn't want to be without my firearm for 2 full weeks. Okay, so I wanted to do a little bit of research, and I researched that the state of Florida, the state of North Carolina, has reciprocity with the state of Indiana. So I can fly to North Carolina, fly to Florida. I can carry concealed in both states, no issues. Okay, so I wanted to make sure that again there weren't any issues with flying. So I did a little bit more research on Southwest Airlines and Frontier and Spirit and those types of airlines and the TSA, just to make sure that I had all of my ducks in a row, that I was in compliance, and that I wouldn't have any issues. But I also wanted to make sure that from a security standpoint, and I'm talking security of my firearm in my case, that it was going to be safe. Because I have heard some stories where guns have gotten stolen at airlines. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about the type of cases that you need, how I secure my firearm, and then what you do once you get to the airport. All right, and it's really easy. I was surprised at how easy it was. It's a little stressful the first time as you go, as you're preparing and going to the airport. It's a little stressful, but after the first time, it honestly was a piece of cake. Okay, so let's get started. Number one, the TSA and all the airlines mandate that you have your firearm in a hard-sided case. It just has to be hard-sided, and it has to be able to lock with a non-TSA lock. Okay, well, that's fairly easy. Okay, it also has to be unloaded and that type of thing, and I'll kind of go into that a little bit. But I wanted to show you some of the different cases that I have, and eventually kind of what I did. But I have quite a few handguns, some of which have, when I bought them, they came in hard-sided cases. All right. Well, this is an FNH hard-sided case. It's got a decent quality plastic, fairly hard. Here there's a little hole here for a lock. Okay, so it's TSA compliant. All right, but if you look inside here, it's a molded plastic. So basically, I would have to either put my FN in there along with 2 magazines, or I could probably do any other full-size handgun that would fit in there and 2 extra magazines. But I have no room in here for extra ammunition or really anything else. So that wasn't an option for me. The second one, this is a SIG. Okay, this is actually the nicest of all the cases. Again, really hard plastic. Got the latches here have 2 areas where you can put 2 different padlocks, which is obviously very, very secure. When you open it up, the bottom of it's foam. Okay, this is for a SIG P250, and you could shove 2 magazines in this slot right here. But again, really no room for extra ammunition at all. Okay, so that wasn't an option for me. And lastly, this is a Smith & Wesson case, fairly cheap construction. All right. Again, you have the little area there for the lock. Could you use it? Yes, you could. It has foam in the bottom, so I mean you could put your firearm here. You could put a couple magazines. You could probably even put a box of ammunition in there, and you're not going to have an issue. Okay, it's going to shut. It's going to lock. Fairly secure. The problem with that setup that I saw is because the plastic's so flimsy. If the lock is on this side, if someone really wanted to try to get in there, you can actually pry open the edge of this, and see that's locked. You can actually open this and pry open the edge and possibly take out your firearm. All right, so not an option for me. What I ended up doing was did some research on different hard-sided cases and came up. Oh, another one here. This is actually just a cheap, $20 like Sentry type of a case. You can find this at Gander Mountain, Cabela's, Amazon, anywhere. Okay, it's got a fairly cheap lock as far as I'm concerned. But when you open it up, yes, you could put a firearm in there. Yes, you could probably put a magazine, maybe 2 in there, but that's about it. Okay, and it will lock. It comes with a cable. Okay, that kind of locks into this little little area here. Okay, locks in here, and then the cable goes around, and you can use a padlock to lock it to something. Okay, something secure. All right. So what I decided on was this is a Pelican 1170 hard-sided case. Okay, very, very hard, durable, fairly heavy case. Okay, but it has 2 areas here for padlocks. Okay, you open it up. This is my bullet for the chamber. Okay, as I mentioned, maybe not. The gun is unloaded. All right. Basically, what I have in here, I have 2 magazines. Okay, these are the 8 round capacity magazines for my Smith & Wesson Shield. I have just a folding knife. I have my 7-shot, which is my carry magazine because it's a little less profile, and then I have a box of 50 hollow points in here. Okay, and this case, the nice thing about this case is that this whole section here is all in like a 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch squares, and you can just tear them out to fit the conformity of your weapon, whatever you're going to put in there. So my shield fits just nice and snug in there. The 2 magazines fit nice and snug in there. It's just really, really nice. Okay, now as you can see, these magazines are loaded, just because I didn't want to unload them for the video. Call me lazy, I don't care. But when you're flying, you do not want to have your magazines loaded. Okay, all the ammunition needs to be in your container. Okay, in a retail type container. All right, and nice and secure. So all this ammunition right here actually goes right into these slots. Okay, now I have 50 rounds with me. Goes right there. All right, so when I get to my destination, not in the bathroom airport, as we've seen in the past, which is a no-no. Get in your car, what have you. You can reload your magazines then. Okay, this is just a very, very nice case, and what I did is this. I'll kind of show you. Put this stuff back here real quick. From a security standpoint, again, you have to have it locked with a non-TSA lock. So what I did, I went to the store, Home Depot, I believe, and found some master locks. Okay, now these master locks, this U part of the master lock, the clearance there is 1.5 inches, and it turns out I need 1.5 inches clearance to make it through these slots. Okay, and be able to lock it from this side. All right, and it might be kind of confusing, but I'm using 2 locks to lock each one, and each one is at the end of this cable. This cable is actually run into the bottom of the suitcase and around the brackets, okay, of the handle brackets that run along the bottom of your suitcase. It's intertwined within that, and then I've cut a couple of holes to where the cable comes up out of the bottom, and it locks right into these 2 units right here, it is slick, absolutely slick. Okay, so with one of these other cases, just sticking them in your bag or in your suitcase, if some dishonest airline or TSA employee decided, oh, they have a firearm in there, they take a case like this, and this is fairly concealable. Okay, I mean, you could stick it up underneath your jacket like that, and just walk away, go to your locker, stick it in there, and you've just stolen a firearm. Okay, well, when they see this setup with this cable wrapped around the bottom of the suitcase, I'm telling you, unless somebody really wants it bad, and if they did, I'll never get that suitcase back because, it'll take them a while to cut that cable and to get out of that. Okay, and there's not a whole lot of clearance there with those locks to even get a pair of bolt cutters in there. Okay, could it be done? Absolutely. All right, but that made me feel very, very secure that my firearm was going to be there when I picked up my baggage at baggage claim. All right, so at this point, the day before I fly out, the night before I fly out, I should say, because I'm carrying all day long. The night I fly out, everything gets unloaded, put into my case, goes into my suitcase, gets locked up. Doesn't take me very long to do that. All right. Now it's time to fly. So drive to the airport, and obviously you have to check your bags. I mean, no getting around it. You have to check your bags. So you go up to the bag check, and the first thing you want to do is tell them that you would like to declare a firearm. It's very, very easy. Okay, you're not going to be the only one that they've ever, hopefully, somebody's ever come up and asked them for that. All right. What's going to happen at that point is they're going to ask you to fill out a form, just a quick little form. Okay, that was Southwest Airlines. This is Spirit Airlines. Okay, and they might ask you if your firearm is loaded or unloaded. They might ask you if it's in a locked case. You're going to say it's unloaded in a locked case. Yes. Okay, and they're going to put a little bit of information on there. Southwest says it's going from Raleigh-Durham to Tampa. All right, and then I need to fill out my name, address, phone number, etc. Have to sign the back. No issues. Spirit they just put down a flight number and date and some other number down here and had me sign it. Okay, and it's just stating that it's locked up in a hard-sided case type of a thing. All right. One thing I did, and I found this out from a couple of YouTube videos, that people suggested that you do this. I actually took one of my business cards and taped it on the outside of my case. All right, and I also put a bright piece of paper here that says that if you have any questions, call this cell phone number. All right, that way if my bag goes back into TSA and all of a sudden they have questions, they're not going to, I might get to my gate and they call me back. All right, they're not going to hold my bags and not ship my bags because of a question that they might have. They're going to be able to call me. I can go down to TSA and answer any questions that they might have. Okay, so I was shocked at how easy it was, guys. It took me an extra 3, 4, 5 minutes to do this. I flew from Chicago to Raleigh. Okay, and I was worried about Chicago, as how anti-gun that state is, but no issues. I was a little worried when the TSA agent was going through my bag, and he did the, he was doing all kinds of swabs all over the place and everything else, and when he took my bag away, I'm like, "We're good?" He says, "Yeah, we're all right." Like, oh my gosh, I hope my gun is there when I get to Raleigh, and obviously it was. So it was easy. In Raleigh, I had absolutely no issues, and then flying home with Spirit, it was a piece of cake. So, you know, as long as you are traveling with a nice hard-sided case, it's all locked up. I would highly suggest that you have some type of a cable system in there, so that it's just a deterrent. That's all it is a deterrent from you know, maybe some dishonest people that might have access to your luggage. So, guys, I appreciate you watching. I hope you learned something. I highly recommend that you travel anywhere that you possibly can with a firearm. You get a lot of peace of mind by doing it. Unfortunately, I'm going to be flying out to California here in a couple of months, and not looking forward to it, because obviously I can't carry in California. So I'm going to have to think of something else. But again, thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Please like the video. And until next time, take care.